You're listening to Radio Kidnappers, the voice of Hawke's Bay. This is a program called
The Wonderful World of Wardini Books, Special Edition.
Special Edition, yeah. Now, today we're not even going to review any books, which is a bit strange for us.
We kind of are, though.
Yeah, I suppose we are in a way, because you're going to talk today exclusively about the Arts Festival, which is coming up for readers and writers. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so it's Hawke's Bay Arts Festival,
Yep.
is the big umbrella parent, and Readers and Hawke's Bay Readers Writers Trust runs independently. So I'm the chair of that,
Yep.
and there's a team of 5 of us. We're volunteers, and we bring readers and writers events into the Bay. And so as part of Hawke's Bay Arts Festival, there's a weekend over Halloween weekend, the last weekend of October, and we have got these just amazing events coming up.
Great. Like
That's what it is in a nutshell. Right, so starting off on Friday the 29th of October. Now, Phoebe's show that everybody will know about, The
Yes.
Gay Agenda, she interviewed Kyle Mewburn, a transgender woman, and Kyle is also a beloved picture book author. Yeah, has been for years and years and years, award-winning, all that kind of thing. And Kyle wrote her transgender memoir, Faking It, and I think Phoebe spoke quite a lot with Kyle about that, and it was an excellent interview. So Kyle is coming. And first off, she's going to do a story time at Napier Library on the Friday, and she's going to do, with Lil O'Brien, who I think Phoebe's also interviewed, about her coming out story, they're going to do a session called Stepping into the Sun, where Lil will talk about her book, Not That I'd Kiss a Girl, which is the best title ever, and Kyle will talk about her book, and they're going to be with Tom Sainsbury, who's going to sort of hang it all together. So, do you know Tom Sainsbury?
Yeah, what a great mix.
What an absolutely stellar lineup, eh?
Yeah.
I think there's going to be, I think that's got potential for tears of laughter, tears of grief, tears of everything, and just the most amazing work of art with those 3 people on a stage, eh?
Well, it's going to be like going to a show.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, and the stories, what I'm hoping for that is, because we've always got a bit of an agenda with the readers, writers things, you know, it's about bringing important things to our community, is that, you know, either people will come that are exploring those issues themselves and they'll find support there, or people that go, I just don't know what this transgender thing is, will come because they want to understand a bit more.
I can understand why writers might get together, you know, sort of pick each other's brains and change their styles perhaps, but I sort of have a bit of trouble getting my head around why do readers come to these things, because, you know, you think, oh, okay, I'm going to see Lou at the bookshop. Oh, what do you recommend, Lou? Oh, read this, Ken.
If you've loved a book, though,
yeah,
aren't you interested in who wrote it?
Oh, yeah, but I suppose.
I'm endlessly fascinated by writers and getting into their heads, and I think, you know, the single most question that they get is, where do you get your ideas from? You know, it's such a cliche, isn't it? But that's what people are really interested in. You know, how did that pop into your head? You know, you created a story with a troll in a park. How did you do that? Yeah, so I think that's why people like to see there's like celebrities, you know. Yeah, sort of. You want to glimpse the actual person.
Almost want to stalk them and find out what. What else you got coming?
So that's Kyle and Lil and Tom, and then Tom is going to stay on at Paisley Stage that evening, and we've got a session called Funny Ha Ha with him and Catherine Robertson. So they're both funny people. Catherine puts a lot of humour into her novels and into her reviews and anything that she writes, and. So we've called it Funny Ha Ha, Tom Sainsbury and Catherine Robertson die on stage. And they'll talk about when it's gone right, when it's gone wrong. And that's directly after Kyle and Lil's session with Tom. So I think that's just going to be a beautiful segue, and it'll be a real warm, fuzzy, funny night.
Now, obviously you've been to these in the past. Do you find that funny people on stage are funny off stage, or are they different personas?
I've met Catherine, I've met Tom, and I've hung out with them, and they are sharp as text, you know. There's that keen intelligence that it takes to be funny. Yeah. So they are funny.
It wouldn't be easy to be funny though, would it?
Oh God, no.
I couldn't be funny.
It can just and humour is so subjective, isn't it? You know, something that you would laugh at, I might think, oh, that's just dumb.
That's right.
Yeah.
I was talking to the people that you mentioned that were on Phoebe's show, and I wonder, with humour, like do you agree that there's an English humour, and there's a Kiwi humour, and there's an American humour?
I think so.
And often you don't get the other humours, do you?
Sometimes you don't, and I suppose that's cultural, isn't it? So you've grown up thinking that someone falling on their backside is funny. Yeah. You know, or you haven't. No. You know, and another culture would look at that and think, that's terrible that you're laughing at that.
That's true.
Yeah. So, yeah. I think there is a cultural humour.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you English humour now, or are you Kiwi humour?
I think there are great parallels between the two.
Yes.
I mean, the British humour is traditionally dry, isn't it? Or bizarre, if you look at Monty Python, for example. Yeah. I don't like the slapstick Benny Hill type of British humour. I like the Morecambe and Wise sharp type of humour.
I don't like bad language humour, because I think if you've got to swear, obviously there are certain times when you swear and it does get a laugh, but a lot of people swear all the time to get a laugh.
Yeah.
So, I think that if you're a great comedian,
a finely placed F-bomb is hilarious.
Right, yes.
But every other word, it just loses its impact, doesn't it?
Give us another one.
Well, this one is serious stuff, and I'm so pleased that we've got these guys. So there's a book and a movement called She Is Not Your Rehab.
I've heard about that.
Yeah.
It's a T-shirt as well, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's Matt and Sarah Brown. So Matt Brown is a barber by trade, and it's called My Father's Barbers is what his business is called. And he also offers men a safe space to talk and be heard and be seen without any judgment. So what this movement is doing, She Is Not Your Rehab, is trying to break cycles of family harm. And cycles of behaviour that result in just so much destruction of families. So if you're in Matt's barber chair, you can talk about that. You can say, oh my God, I've done these terrible, terrible things.
Wow.
And then the next step then is, how do you heal from that?
Yeah.
So that's what Matt and Sarah are going to come and talk about. The power of, I'm reading from the thing that I actually wrote here, the power of vulnerability and honesty in addressing pain and shame and showing the way towards taking responsibility for your own healing. So how amazing is that going to be? So
how much courage would that take to say to that guy, I've done this.
I've done this terrible thing.
Yeah.
How do I not do this terrible thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what does he do? Does he just let you talk, or does he then give you some advice, or what happens?
I think they've got practical steps, and I haven't read the book yet. I've borrowed Phoebe's copy, funnily enough.
Yeah.
And what they're doing as well is they're trying to get every prisoner in New Zealand given a copy of this book. So, okay, you're in here, you've done these things. If you have this urge to change, then we can help you with that. I think that's just
marvellous.
So they're going to be at Toy Toy on Saturday the 30th of October.
Cheer us up again with another one.
Oh, we've got Maori Made Easy. We've got Scotty and Stacey Morrison coming. What a coup.
Yes, they're real stars, aren't they?
They're superstars, and they're so busy. So they've agreed to come down, and I think they're pretty much flying in and out because Scotty's got a Sunday morning show to get back to in Auckland. So what's behind the growth of the interest in learning Te Reo Māori language? Because you can't get on a course these days for love nor money. They're all booked up. So,
and it's marvellous.
Yeah, so they're going to excite us about Te Reo Māori and how we can use more in our day-to-day lives.
What I like about them is they seem to be so casual but interesting. When you see them, I tell you, it's sort of like it just comes naturally to them.
There's a warmth there as well, isn't there? And a willingness to share, and for all New Zealanders, for all Kiwis, to learn one of our 3 official languages with sign language too.
And what I quite like about the Māori language now is that just about everyone's dropping a Māori word into everyday conversation.
Love it, and it's so beautiful.
It's just, just about every single one of us knows a word that we can say morena or ka kite.
Yeah, absolutely. Get to pie.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. That's good to hear.
Yeah. And then Craig Sylvie, are you familiar with the novelist Craig Sylvie?
No.
If he can get here, he's Australian, and he's coming from Australia.
Yeah.
So if in October, I don't know which part he's in, so if there is a travel bubble, then we're getting Craig Sylvie, and he'll talk to Gareth because Gareth's a big fan. And Jasper Jones was a big novel for him. That was turned into a movie. And then Honeybee is his latest novel, and he deals with all sorts of stuff, like the human condition. So we've called that one Australian Gothic, and I'm really looking forward to that.
What about Gareth? Is he having a spot?
Not of his own, so he's just going to talk to Craig. He's got big things coming next year as well. So, you'll see more of Gareth, don't you worry. And then we've got a brilliant crime session. It's called Dead Girls Don't Lie. It's with Becky Manawatu, who wrote the multi-award-winning Owe, which I think we've spoken about on this show. Jacqueline Bublitz. Now, she's written a book called Before You Knew My Name, and I'm pretty sure I've reviewed it on here too. And Tina Clough, who we've spoken about before. So these 3 ladies all turn the narrative back on the female victims of crime. So let's get away with excusing males for the crimes they commit.
Yes.
So it fits in quite nicely with She's Not Your Rehab when you think about it. And let's focus on these victims and tell their stories. It's not all about the hunt for the perpetrator, it's about these women. So brilliant crime writers with women at the heart of their novels. So that's going to be a cracking one.
Absolutely. Let's pick one more and go on.
One more? Oh no, how do I choose?
How do you choose? Oh,
okay,
no.
we've got a gardening one with Kath Irvine. That's going to be absolutely brilliant. Edible backyard for any gardeners that want to do learn how to create snacks in their back garden.
I must have a look at that one because I'm on black thumb when it comes to gardening. Everything
well,
goes.
that's for you.
Yeah.
And then we've got a beautiful poetry one, Tusiata Avia, Carlo Mila with Nafanua Kursal. So that's just going to be a brilliant one. It's called Mana Va. Va is the space between, not empty space, the space that separates, but space that relates and holds separate entities together. So they're going to talk about that, and that's going to be quite incredible. Jeff Chappell, you'll know him.
Yes.
And Roger Hall, they're going to talk about Jeff Chappell's life, which is fascinating, and him coming up with the idea for the Te Araroa Trail and all the things that he's done in his activism and documentary making, all that kind of thing. And then the last one, Ken, I'm going to squeeze it in there, is Graham Mctavish. If we can get him back from the UK. Oh my God. So Graham's been in Lord of the Rings. He plays one of the dwarves in there, and he is in Outlander, which a lot of our ladies will know. Yeah. And he's an actor, and he's written a book about travelling around Scotland. So
if we want to go to these gigs, and how do we sign up for them?
So you can go onto the Hawke's Bay Arts Festival website and click through to the Readers Writers section, and you can get your tickets there. And I'm just loading them all up onto the Hawke's Bay Readers Writers Facebook page as well. So look that up, and you can click through on the events and get your ticket links there too.
And just a quick plug for you, if you want to get hold of a good book, where are you guys?
Any of these books, absolutely. Wardini books.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hastings, Havelock,
North, Napier. Online, righty, righty, right.
Good on you, Lee. My pleasure as always. Look after yourself. Talk at the same time, same place next time.
Thanks, Ken.